NBA players who desperately need more money. These are the most broke NBA players that are, just struggling to get by. And I have a lot of sympathy for. Obviously, all these guys are really rich. But when it comes to the NBA and how much the BRI, basketball-related income, which is how the salary cap works if you don't know, they have a calculation of all the different things that make money in the NBA. And that it's like jersey sales, ticket sales, concession sales, the TV deal, that's obviously the biggest one. Tencent, the TV deal in China. They take all that money, they split it 50-50. And 50% of all the BRI is what they use to get the salary cap. So if you ever wonder why is the salary cap rising every year? Why is everyone's salary sort of a question mark for the following years? It's because they don't know what the BRI is going to be, and it's a prediction of what the BRI is going to be from the previous year. That's what it means. So, of all the BRI that's spread around here, some of these guys are not getting enough of it, while there are some overpaid players, which I might do next week, but I think I wanted to do underpaid. I wanted to do underpaid first. I wanted to start. I think I had a positive one. Guys that should stop shooting last week, so that's what I decided to go with. So I want to do something positive. I'll be back doing negative stuff next week. But TJ McConnell is on a new deal. This is his new deal, and he's performing well for the new deal because everyone was like, "Oh, TJ McConnell getting paid, man, dang, like $10 million a year, $10 million a year for TJ McConnell." Well, yeah, he's worth every penny. He's actually worth more. He's only missed one game. He got sick against that game when they played Charlotte. I think they won. Did they beat Charlotte? I think they're on a 3-game win streak, if I remember correctly. Yes, they're on a 3-game win streak, so they did win. And he played tonight. Or no, he played the other night. And he was 12. No, the Pacers played today. Who'd they play? Can't look. But in his last game, 12 points, 7 assists, and 10 rebounds. Or I have it the other way. 10 assists, 7 rebounds. He's playing... and he's a shot contester, and he's a shot deflector. So deflections per 36. Per 36 just means if he were to play 36 minutes, this is how many deflections he'd have. So per 36 is a way to extrapolate a guy's play to a full game, right? So per 36 stats is what you're going to use if you're saying, yeah, that guy doesn't deflect a lot of balls, doesn't get a lot of points, doesn't get a lot of steals, but he's not getting a lot of minutes. So it's what you use to sort of decide if a guy should be playing more. And when it comes to hustling, TJ McConnell is always on the hustle stats list. He was loose balls recovered. I think he's on there. Yeah, 1.5 loose balls recovered. I think he's third in loose balls recovered per 36. If he were to play the whole game, he'd probably be leading. He'll dive for a ball. Kawhi Leonard also diving for balls. Not this season, but still dives for balls. Still cares. I gave Kawhi Leonard too much guff for sitting out games. I think he really wants to play. Like I said last week, he's crying. He's crying because he has to miss so many games. And then I honestly heard that and I felt bad about criticizing him so much. And I take it back. So the Pacers are 8th in the East. I'm really excited for them. I think they're going to be good this year. I think some teams get off to a bad start. I even think Philly isn't dead in the water. I was listening to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast today, and those guys were really down in the dumps. They were saying, yeah, should we just, I don't think, if anything goes wrong, I don't feel like playing Maxey, I don't feel like playing Paul George or Embiid. I don't feel like risking it. If any of them get injured a little bit, this is not the season. And I was like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but right now, Maxey, Paul George, and Embiid are healthy. And you still have like 50 games left. So this still could be a good season. This is definitely not something you throw away. And I felt that way last year with them. And I was glad they didn't throw it away. I was glad they tried. Because if you wait, yeah. Perkins talked about that. Perkins was like, you got to wait, rest Embiid and don't play him because you want to have him ready for the next season. And I think that's such a foolish way to live your life, is to say, well, we'll get him next year. Let's not, let's save it. Dude, throw your chips in every time. Like, give it everything you got, because you don't know how long it's going to last. And you also don't know what the future's going to hold. So if you have any chance of being good. So, like the Pacers, I think they know, hey, this is it. We've actually traded for Pascal Siakam. We signed TJ McConnell to a big old deal. We got Miles Turner for 1 more year. Then he's a free agent. Let's do it. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. We made it to the NBA Cup Finals last year. We're a good team. I heard someone saying, well, that was kind of fool's gold. Okay. Like, I don't know. Hey, everyone says that. They say, oh, it was fool's gold. You know, they got lucky with the injuries to the Knicks, you know, to the Bucks. And I get what you're saying. There were injuries to the Knicks and the Bucks. But at the same time, give them some credit, man. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I would just suck. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm projecting. Maybe I feel like I work hard and I get dismissed sometimes. Not like on this, but in my life. I think that's where that comes from. Or I don't know. Let's not go down that path. So I think, are we done with TJ McConnell? I thought I had more on him, but I ended up just talking about the Sixers for a while. So let's talk about Jonas Valanciunas. And everything you look up about Jonas Valanciunas, yeah, he's on a good contract, $9 million. You know, his PI rate, I have the PI ratings in here. I think it's pretty accurate. I think PER benefits the centers a little bit too much. PI does too, but I put it in here, the impact estimate, how much they impact their team on the court. Here's the thing. Jonas Valanciunas' free throw percentage, I think, is doing most of the heavy lifting. Because I looked into it, I dug into the calculation itself, and I was like, his stats aren't crazy good. Like, his three-point percentage, he's not shooting 3 points. Or like, 13% is terrible, but he's really not shooting them. 0.06 attempts a game. Most games he's taking 1, if that. 11.5 points per game. He's just not playing a lot of minutes. I think that's what it is. I think during the minutes that he does play, because they are playing Alex Sarr, and Alex Sarr is not playing well, but he's a rookie. Fair. I'm not going to criticize him. Wizards are terrible. They're 4-22. Ah, man, I'm just thinking about that. I was watching that Wizards Nuggets game, because I'm a Nuggets fan now. Not like I'm from Denver or anything. That's the team. I just finished watching them play the Pelicans. They almost lost. They went into overtime against the Pelicans. Anyway, I watched the Wizards beat the Denver Nuggets, and yeah. Valanciunas was beast against Jokic, though. So, if you want a guy, if you're a team in the West and you're like, we're going to have to get past that guy, we're going to need someone to try to... And he was like, scoring on him, too. He was defending him pretty well, and he was scoring on him. I mean, I'm sure Jokic... I don't remember what Jokic had. I'm sure he's still at a night, but... Valanciunas, I would say he's got a decent jumper mid-range. He can bang. He's there in the dunker spot. He can pick and roll. Everything you see is like Lakers are wanting Jonas Valanciunas, which I find so funny. Like, take him. Yeah, take him. Give him a first round. Guys, I know the Wizards are like, yeah, I know you want him. We'll take a first round pick, which is way too much, just so you can lose in the first round of the playoffs. Just kind of funny. So, I don't know. He has the worst defensive rating on his team. On a terrible team, he has the worst defensive rating. So what I'm trying to say is his usage is high. He gets a lot of rebounds. He can serve a team, but he's not as good as everyone is saying. He's not the most valuable trade piece out there on the market right now. But he is underpaid, and he is playing well for Jonas Valanciunas. Because remember, at the beginning of the season, I guess LeBron did say, I would take a pay cut to have Jonas Valanciunas on my team. Apparently he said that. I didn't remember that, but someone said that earlier this week. So, he's good, but he's not as good as everyone's saying. He's not going to save your team. He's a backup center, man. I hate to say it, but he's a backup center on a quality team. So if you're going to bring him in to be your starting center, keep in mind, he signed a deal this year, getting paid $9 million a year, or about $10 million a year. Granted, that's a lot of money, obviously, but in the grand scheme of the NBA, that's a backup center salary. So keep that in mind. Still underpaid. Still an underpaid backup. So, Moritz Wagner, RIP, tore his meniscus, tore his ACL last night, which, very unfortunate. Magic are still in it, though. Cole Anthony had like 30, how many points did he have last night? I have my notes here. I have that coming up, but Magic are still doing it. They have such a deep squad. So now they're missing Mo Wagner, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero. Those guys are coming. Those guys did too many sit-ups, and now their abs are ripped open. So I think they're coming back soon. Paolo's been out for a while. Of course, I've heard the the oblique injuries can linger. So who knows? But man, did the Magic have enough juice to carry them throughout all these injuries? I mean, Anthony Black, Jet Howard, Jonathan Isaac. Who else is out there? Cole Anthony, beast. So his defensive rating is great. He is a great player. He's also 6'11". Mo Wagner is 6'11", and I don't know why he couldn't be Lauri Markkanen. He looks like Lauri Markkanen. He's the same height as Lauri Markkanen. His hair is the same as Lauri Markkanen. I think he's got potential, and he plays really hard. Again, it doesn't matter because his season ended. His season ended. RIP. His meniscus tore. He's got to do the whole rehab thing. We need to figure out a way how to strengthen tendons. Like, you can work out all day. Does lifting weights actually help your tendons? Does lifting weights prevent you from getting injured? Or is it all flexibility? It is very strange to me that we haven't figured out techniques and ways to go about things to become less injury prone. And you may say, well, we have. And I would disagree, because I feel like there's nothing conclusive enough, otherwise more people would do it. Maybe I'm wrong. You're going to leave a comment, you're going to tell me what's up, and I appreciate that. Am I done here? I think so. Daniel Gafford is on the list. I had him higher, and then if you look at his stats, really what he's great at is his field goal percentage. I mean, his field goal percentage right now is 72.3. But then I was watching his game, and I'm like, yeah, but he is just like a dunker spot, lob, put back guy. So, yeah, of course his field goal percentage is really good. He's shooting 7 field goals a game. He also doesn't play enough. I know they're Mavs fans that watch this show. And I saw a trade proposal. What would you think of Mitchell Robinson? Mitchell Robinson, so Mavs get Mitchell Robinson, who's going to come back in January. Legend has it. So keep that in mind. He's injured now, but he's going to come back in January. So Daniel Gafford would go. Again, he's only playing 20 minutes, and Derek Lively is a better player. Because Derek Lively's field goal percentage is 70%. It's about the same as Daniel Gafford. He gets more blocks. Basically, he gets better stats than Gafford does. Gafford is a great player, but the Knicks might want him and play him more minutes next to Cat. So what do you think of that? You would get, you get Mitchell Robinson, but you also get a first-round pick this draft, and it's the Wizards pick. A really bad team. That's a thought. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, do the Knicks have? There might be some protections on that pick. I'm not sure. Because I'd roll the dice on that. I'd say, hey, can we get Daniel Gafford value from Mitchell Robinson in January? Can we hold out and just play Derek Lively harder? For the next couple games? Something to think about. Something to leave a comment on the video for, just a fun thing to do. Have a community around here. So Goga is really playing. I'm loving the Magic team. I'm really loving this Magic team because there are guys that are just showing up. There are tons of guys getting injured, but there are guys that are just the next man up that are like, yes, I actually tore both those guys' abs open so I could get some minutes. Yeah, I taught Mo Wagner some really bad strength techniques, and now his meniscus is torn open, and now it's my time to shine. Because Goga is playing really well, and he's getting a lot of minutes lately. So he's averaging, over the last 5 games, since all those injuries, he's averaging 16 points per game in the last 5 games. He's getting a lot of points, and he can dribble. He can take it to the rack. He's getting rebounds. He's strong, and he's aggressive. I'm watching this. I'm seeing a lot of these young centers just bullying these old centers, man. Just killing it down low. And it's pretty awesome. And Goga being one of them. So this is a really exciting player. And he's only, I'm not even talking about how much these guys are making. I don't need to go back, but he's making $9 million a year. These are like really low budget contracts. And just for reference, like Bradley Beal's making $50 million this year. Just something to think about. So Goga is making a fifth of what Bradley Beal is making. Again, Bradley Beal's contract is an awful contract, so it's sort of a bad example to use it. But, you know, a max contract's in the 50, depending on when they signed it, the 45 to 55, possibly, you know, in that range. So these guys are like nickel and dime contracts, and they're providing serious values for their team. 1.6 blocks per game in those 24 minutes. Dude, Goga is awesome. This guy is a star, because he was playing, I believe he was playing in Indiana for the beginning of his career, and he just wasn't getting the opportunity, but it's there. Like I said, Austin Rivers, a wise man once said, the NBA is all about opportunity, which may or may not sort of translate into life. You know, just hang in there, work on your thing, work on your, I hate saying craft, but that's really what it is. Like, work on your skill set, and that you will just take L's forever and forever and forever, but you will be working on something and you will be good. You'll be good at something and it'll be hidden under a bushel basket until the day it's not. And you'll be ready to do whatever it is. So I think that's the sort of lesson with all these guys is they've been working on their game. They've been working on their skills, and they've probably been pretty frustrated because they haven't had the opportunity to showcase what they can do until they do. And when they get that opportunity, sort of like Tom Brady, you know, Drew Bledsoe, just like, okay, you're going to give me the chance to win a Super Bowl. This is my job now, and you can rip it from my cold dead hands. Like, I'm sorry you got injured, Drew Bledsoe, but like, I've been working on this for so long and for so hard, and I'm so ready that I will never sit on that bench again. Well, he did. He got benched a couple times, but then he won a couple Super Bowls after that. I'm a Brady stan. Ooh, sorry. Zubac. So I hadn't really watched a whole lot of Clippers games because they're blacked out here. And so I was like, all right, I should do some research on Zoo, because I kind of always looked at him as the standard center, the center. He is middle of the road, starting center, probably the 15th best center in the league. He'll pull down the boards. He'll get those easy ones. He's a Daniel Gafford type, right? He's a Valanciunas type. He can be the position. He's not Embiid. He's not Jokic. He doesn't have to be. He's not even Sabonis. I didn't realize, dude, he's got game. He is good. He can pass. He's got footwork. This guy can move. I just, you know, I haven't been to a Clippers game in a while, and I'm just like, wow, dude, Zubac has put it together. He's a great scorer. I don't know if I have it in my notes, but he had an insane game. I think it might have been last year, actually. But he had 32 points in a game. But he's getting serious points, man. He's getting 15 points a game. And then he's in rebounds. I think he's fourth in rebounds this year, 12.4 rebounds a game. Scoops up everything, 60.9% field goal. Dude, he's one. I mean, where do we rank him? What do you think? Top 5? Top 10 for sure, right? Centers in the league. I think so. So he's making $11 million this year. Again, so he's on an incredibly cheap contract for the value he's providing, but he did get an extension. So next year it's appropriate. He's getting $18 million next year, but for this season he is underpaid. You know what I remember? I remember Patrick Beverley talking about how Zoo needed a chain. He was like criticizing his swag, and then so Zoo ended up like buying a chain and a Rolex. And Pat Bev was like, "Yeah, man, that's what's up. You got your swag right." It's like, oh man, I don't know. Does it kind of bother you if someone like convinces someone else to buy a chain for their approval? That's why I like Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen wears like LL Bean. He wears like LL Bean in like cargo pants. He looks comfortable. He just looks like, he's like, that looks nice. That's, you know, no one's going to be impressed by what I'm wearing, but like, that looks comfortable and I think I look nice. So, you know what? The Balenciaga hoodie. The biggest waste of money, all right, I'm getting on a high horse here, but I think the biggest waste of money and the most embarrassing thing you can possibly wear is the Balenciaga hoodie. The Balenciaga hoodie that says Balenciaga on it. Anything Balenciaga that says Balenciaga is so embarrassing. Like the most hideous hooded sweatshirt you've ever seen that says Balenciaga, just like in some font, just some Basquiat ripoff font. Like, oh man. Because really what you're saying is like, I paid $2,000 for this hoodie, and I need you to know. And in their head, they're thinking people respect that I have so much money that I can pay so much for a hoodie. And then I think, yeah, but like, I don't care. I hate the way your hoodie looks. So I felt bad that Zubac got like pimped into buying jewelry he probably doesn't even like and finds scratchy. I think that's all I have on him. Oh, he did work on Sengun, actually, because a lot of the stuff I was watching, it was the Rockets and the Clippers, and dude, it was, if you were just watching that of Sengun, you'd be like, dude, this guy's like, he cannot hang in the NBA, because Zubac was killing him, dude. So I hadn't really put it together, but like Sengun's, maybe it's just not, again, small sample size, but not a great defender. So he really exposed him. So I was impressed with Zubac. Santi Aldama, another exceptional player who is killing it. If you guys hate three-pointers, you hate Santi Aldama. If you're one of those people writing up blogs and tweeting about how you don't watch the NBA anymore because there's too many threes, you don't have to watch the NBA. I watched some football today. It was really good. Try that. Watch soccer. Soccer's great. I like the European relegation structure. Check it out. You can develop another interest. Move on. You know, it's okay. Nothing has to change for you. 0.05 blocks. So he doesn't block a lot, and I believe he is technically a center, if I remember that correctly. He is 7 feet tall, but he plays on the perimeter. He's always on the perimeter. He never bangs. They leave it to Edey and Jackson Jr. to play down low. He is on the perimeter, and it looks funny because he is really tall, and he is shooting, and he is taking it in. So I think this is like a really sort of sleeper guy, only making $4 million a year. That's nothing. It's like a minimum contract. Memphis is good. Memphis is good, and they've found a way to be deep. And I think that's the most important thing in the NBA now, especially with so many injuries, is figuring out how you're going to be deep, how your team is going to be good at the beginning of the game, and then when the bench unit comes in. And I think the Grizzlies are doing that really well because they're taking guys, you know, not their star guys, and saying, hey, you're going to be good too. No, you're also going to play 26 minutes a game because people are going to get injured because that's just sort of what happens now. So really impressive stats. 13.4 points per game. Not turning the ball over, really. He can pass too. So do I have another note on him? Yeah. He can catch and shoot. Like, he's a catch and shooter with 7 feet tall. He can also kind of get his own shot, do a little step back thing. Who do you remind me of? There's someone there's a big guy that I'm thinking of. Maybe he was on Boston? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Porzingis. I don't know. Jay Huff. And he's on this because his stats aren't crazy. He's only getting 15 minutes a game, but he's on a $2 million contract. He's on a league minimum contract. So he was on, let me look and see what. So this is his fourth season in the league, and he played 4 games his first season, 7 games the next, and 20. So I believe he was on the Grizzlies last year and he played 20. Then he was on Washington and he played 7, and then he played 4 games for the Lakers this season before. Again, the NBA is about opportunity, and Jay Huff is getting an opportunity to get 15 minutes a game, and he is getting 9 points. And 2.8 rebounds. You'd kind of hope for more because Jay Huff, I believe, is technically a center. But he is a good rim protector too. 1.2 blocks. So, the Memphis Grizzlies play-by-play called it a Huff snuff, which I'm like, excellent. I love make it fun. Give me a pun. Give me a nickname, and I'm here for it. I will never stop calling them by their nickname and saying Huff snuff. I'm into it. I love it. A lot of good local broadcasters now. I'm so impressed by the local broadcasting. I feel like everyone has a solid team that has some really interesting stuff to say. Like every regional sports network does. Bravo. So anyway, Jay Huff, 41% from 3. If you don't like threes, you're not going to like the NBA. That's it. Even centers are shooting threes. You know, this isn't going to stop. This is just the way it's going to be. But yeah, good for J Huff. Ty Jerome, I feel like I glazed Ty Jerome every week here, but he is playing really well. I thought maybe he could be the sixth man of the year, but he's just not quite getting enough minutes, because at this point there are 6 men that are getting in the 30s minutes a game, and those guys are going to get it just because they're coming off the bench. So, but he is providing serious value, and even in previous seasons, he's provided value. He's sort of always been good. Like when he was on Oklahoma City and with the Golden State Warriors, there's always been the potential there. But those seasons he's been on those teams have not been good. Now, Kenny Atkinson actually has him in a place where it's like, you're going to be a part of this team and we're going to need you to score. And he is doing it, and he's doing it well. He's also passing really well too. So 3.5 assists a game doesn't sound like a lot, but at 18.1 minutes, he's doing really well, and I'm really impressed with him, and seems like a really good dude. So, and his usage is pretty solid for while he's out there. So when he's out there, they want to get him the ball. What else we got on Ty Jerome? I'm on my last piece of paper. He gets left open a lot. So his confidence is up, but he gets left open. People sleep on him. I was watching, like, he gets open threes. Maybe it's because Donovan Mitchell is sort of throwing everyone off the scent. Like, oh, we got to double team Mitchell. But some guys just sag the hell off of Ty Jerome, and he kills them. So I think we're looking at potentially a most improved player if it weren't for Payton Pritchard. Here's the crazy thing. I mean, look at his stats. All right, so he's getting 28 minutes a game. Recently, though, he's been up in the 30s minutes a game. He's playing more than Drew Holiday. Like, regularly, he's playing more minutes than Drew Holiday. And then in some games, he's playing more than the other He's playing more than the other starters. He's playing more than, like, Tatum. He's playing more than Brown some games. A lot of games, he's playing more than White. He is, because I think he's the best pick and roll guy on that team. If he's playing with Cornette, if he's playing with Porzingis, he can, you know, he's a short, tiny guy that can dribble. And he moves off the ball. Good defender, too. Gets a steal every game. He's excellent. I'm having so much fun. Like, remember when he was like, he wanted traded because he was afraid here's the funny thing. He's getting $6 million a year. And he wanted traded because he was afraid he wasn't going to get paid by the Celtics. And then he got paid by the Celtics, but it wasn't enough. He's only making $6 million a year. So I'm not sure what his contract is, but I got a feeling he's going to get a lot of money when that contract is over. And the Celtics will not be writing him that check because they're already so over the luxury tax and so over the second apron. They just can't do it. Even if Jeff Bezos bought the team, they just still can't do it. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes and what type of role he'll have. What do we got? Oh, yeah, he's going to be the most improved player. So much energy. So good for him. Good for Payton Pritchard. All right. Well, thanks for listening to my rant about not buying a Balenciaga hoodie. Buy things you like. Like, buy articles of clothing that you like, and then that's how you express yourself. But to buy something because you think other people will respect it, you know? Like, to buy some sort of article of clothing, some sort of car because you think this will tell other people something about me, it won't. It won't. So figure out what you value and don't buy, you know, maybe you really like Balenciaga. Maybe you're like, yeah, I really like this, you know. But if you can afford it, buy it. But just know, no one's going to care. Be good to your mothers, eat a corn dog.